In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Mary, Maria, Madonna, Blessed Mother, Our Lady, Mother of God, Queen of Heaven. All of these names represent the woman who showed us how to trust in God fully and accept His will without question. It is comforting to know that we continue to honor Mary every May as the Queen of Mercy and the Mother of our Church. Mother Catherine Macaulay and the Sisters of Mercy followed Mary's example beautifully. When they established St. Bernard Academy over 150 years ago, they built it on the foundations of Mary's life of love, mercy, and trust. Without Mary's willingness to say yes, our lives would not look the same. As we honor Mary, it is important to follow her example of complete devotion and trust in God. Mary, we crown you with blossoms today. We crown you today, the Queen of our hearts.
Hello everybody, happy graduation. I would just like to thank Mr. Sabo for being a great principal. I really liked how he believed in the balance between working hard at school and having fun at school. He had great expectations for us academically, but he also made jokes on the intercom, worked really hard on his skits for SaboCast, and had great costumes for the Monster Mash. One thing that stuck out to me was how involved he was in clubs and sports. He dropped in on Jesus Band a couple times just to listen to our music, or he came to Science Olympiad a lot to look at what we were building. He also was very present at our basketball games, and he was always there supporting us. As many of you know, I left SBA for 7th grade, and I missed everything about it. When I came back for 8th grade, it was just like 2nd grade all over again. I had many friends, I had tons of fun, and I always looked forward to going there in the morning. None of this would have been possible without Mr. Sabo and the great administration, and I can't thank them enough for giving me the opportunity to come back and finish out middle school on a good note. I would like to thank Mr. Sabo for being a great principal, and I think we will all try to live up to his expectation of being a kind and thoughtful leader. He was truly a good role model, and I would just like to thank him for everything he's done for us.
To the parents, the grandparents, and finally to the class of 2020, congratulations. But I mean, seriously, how lucky can a group of people be? No final exams, and the school still wants you? That's awesome. Seriously, know how much we're going to miss you. We're going to miss your influence. We're going to miss seeing you in the halls. We're going to miss seeing you in my office. The lunchroom activities that some of us are famous for. We're going to even miss you as you pass in the halls. That was really special. I'm truly sorry that you missed some of the things that make 8th level at St. Bernard so special. Confirmation, the junior high games, and who can forget that last trivia match? But hey, you were able to spend some quality time with your families. You can't complain about that at all. Just know that we're sorry to see you go. We're sorry to see you go like this. But I promise you, we will have one more night together. I ask you to raise your glasses and please toast with me and celebrate the class of 2020. Hear, hear.
To our SBA teachers, how could we ever forget Stewie's Diner, Miss Frame's diagramming, Miss V's cursive, Mr. Crouch's bell work, or Mr. Power's scary stories at LBL? The answer is we can't. The teachers that some of us have had for the past 10 years will never leave our minds. Though these examples are the iconic memories that instantly come to mind, we often don't think of the valuable life lessons teacher taught us over the years. Teachers showed us how to support one another, be kind, and always live with God in our hearts. The teachers at St. Bernard Academy, whether it's their first year or their 20th, have truly shaped the class of 2020 into the people that we are today, and I know I wouldn't be the same without them. One of the biggest lessons from teachers that has stuck with me is support. I know from experience that teachers are always there to talk or just to give advice. A few times in particular, I have made Mr. Crouch and I late getting home by staying and talking to Miss Flanagan and Miss De La Rosa after school. Some teachers actually volunteered to come with a group of students for a week to a field trip. While at Rhode Island, my roommates and I locked ourselves out of our room at 11 o'clock at night. We had to wake up Miss Hackett and ask her what to do. She was mad at us, of course. We were 12-year-olds out of bed when we weren't supposed to be. But she was still willing to help. With their endless amounts of advice and guidance, teachers are the ideal people to learn support from. Without realizing, we followed their example by answering texts from friends late at night or unplanned conversations that last much longer than we expected. Support is a big part of being a good friend, and thanks to teachers, most of us now know what that looks like. Another big and important life lesson from teachers is kindness. I first remember learning this early in kindergarten. Our class had collected paper towels, toilet paper, and hand sanitizer for the kids and their families at Ronald McDonald House. I distinctly remember Miss Nancy and Miss Brandy telling us about the golden rule: treat others how you would wish to be treated. This rule applied to both pandas and koalas, they had said. Much later in my career of being an SBA student, Miss Moy taught me another lesson about kindness. I remember having a really bad day, and as I was walking down the hallway past her room, she stopped me and smiled and asked me how I was doing, even though I hadn't had her in class for about a year and a half. Though this was a very small gesture, it turned my whole day around and made me realize that even the simplest of things can make a difference to someone. Now, whenever I walk down the hall, I try to smile and greet people like she did for me. These two examples are small stories that are part of countless lessons about kindness I learned from teachers at St. Bernard. Finally, teachers taught us how to live with God in our hearts. In 2nd grade, we took our first communion. At the time, I didn't really understand the magnitude of the sacrament. Miss Fahey, my religion teacher, showed us how taking communion made the Mass more real. She told us to cherish the moment and remember it as knowing Christ for the first time. Now, even now, when I take communion, I think of Miss Fahey. This year, I was given the opportunity to cantor during a Mass. Because the Mass was short notice and the song was difficult, I was really stressed about it. Then, out of nowhere, the Mass was canceled. Miss Thompson said that it was God's doing. God had noticed my anxiety and helped me. This simple statement got me thinking. I began to trust in God more and put my problems and worries in His hands. Miss Thompson pointed out that God does everything for a reason, and I should trust in Him. Many teachers have taught us how to live with God in our hearts. Our teachers have always been there to help, since day one. Though we may get frustrated with them at certain times, when they give too much homework or a Miss Mila-style pop quiz, we know they have the best intentions possible and want us to succeed. They have taught us support, kindness, and spirituality over the course of our time at SBA. Thank you, teachers, for showing us how to be good people, always.
Good morning. At the beginning of the school year, I was very eager to go to high school. Throughout distance learning, I've realized how much I wish I could stay another year at SBA and how grateful I am that I've spent 3 wonderful years here. I wouldn't be the person I am today if it hadn't been for the incredible teachers here. They have always pushed me to do my best. The teachers at SBA have given me tools that are very useful in the classroom, but can also carry on in life. Not only have I learned schoolwork, I have learned how to work through tough situations. For example, when my brother was hit by a car, it was a hard adjustment for my family and me. Not to mention that my bat mitzvah was in a month. As some of you may know, I had to walk in the new lobby every morning to push my brother in his wheelchair into school. This one morning, however, I was crying. Miss Dwyer saw me and told me to go sit in her office. It was very comforting. I have no idea why I was so upset, but now thinking back on it, I was overwhelmed. My teachers have always been there for me when there was a bump in the road. SBA has provided so many outlets for me to focus on other things. For example, liturgy choir and cross country have been very helpful because Mrs. Thompson was always encouraging me to try something new, and Mrs. Ewald helped me set goals. Even though I may not be very good at singing or running, I've learned that there is always a starting point for improvement. No matter how big or how small, there's always a difference. I've learned to use my resources when it seems like there are none. At the beginning of the year in science, Miss Mila would hand my classwork packets and say, "You have to answer questions 1 through 13 before the timer goes off," and I would have no clue what the questions were asking, which was why I couldn't stand science class. However, I learned that if you don't understand something, the best thing to do is to ask for help. When I did ask for help, not only did it help me answer the questions, it clarified the content for me later on. That made a huge difference in how I viewed science. Now reflecting, I wish Miss Mila could be my science teacher in high school because her teaching style is almost like solving a puzzle, which is very rewarding. I enjoy science because it is interactive and especially interesting with Miss Mila. Thank you, SBA teachers, for inspiring, motivating, and most importantly, being great role models to me and my fellow classmates. I'm going to miss you.
Hey everybody, this is Mr. Crouch. I am responding to the teacher toast that was given so well by Lily Faye in Virginia. I thank you very much for being willing to do that and doing such a great job. And I would encourage any of you, if you feel shortchanged on the toast, to write your own toast to give it to the teachers because the teachers love a good toast. I would like to talk to you for just a second about what I consider a successful year this year. And I know we're ending the year in circumstances that we certainly could not have predicted. And I would ask you to remember that we kind of began the year that way as well, right? Remember, we came to school and found out we were not going to be able to use the playground for many weeks after we arrived. And in fact, we didn't really get used to the playground until almost fall break. And that was not a pleasant situation with having recess and break in the NPR when we could and elsewhere when we couldn't. So we began our year with some uncertain circumstances, and we certainly have ended it with those, again, that we could not have foreseen. And yet, I think this year has been a success, and I have to say that it's been a success because of what you've done, 8th level, for your outlook, for your willingness, for your cooperation, and for these last 2 months, your commitment to continue to progress forward in your learning. And that has been a real pleasure, truly. So I think I can speak on behalf of my colleagues and say thank you to that. I would also remind you too that, as junior high teachers, we have the privilege of kind of seeing you all at a distance in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, coming up through the years, and to get familiar with you, to become familiar with you. And certainly that's changed for me this year with having a daughter in your class. I've been more familiar with you all for longer than you ever have with me. And I wanted to tell you that, and I again speak on behalf of the other teachers and myself. It has been a pleasure having you in class. Truly, you're going to be missed. It has been a real pleasure to teach you. It's also been a real pleasure to learn from you. That's right, I said it, to learn from you. I want to thank you for teaching us a little bit about ourselves, a little bit about what we do, and a little bit more about the world in which we live in. And I want to remind you that moving forward, you're going to encounter a whole new group of friends, a whole new group of teachers, a whole new group of people who you will also inspire, who will also learn from you. So remember to put your best foot forward, be yourself, and put your faith in Him. I'm very grateful to have been a part of this journey with you this year. Thank you so much.
Hello, I'm Xavier Warren, joined via Zoom by Wilmy Strosky, and today we are toasting the parents.
I would like to thank all our parents for being with us during the good times as well as the bad times.
First off, transportation. We have tons of events we have to go to, and you guys take us to all of them. From chess to forensics to sports.
Speaking of sports, I would like to thank our parents for organizing our sports as well as other events.
Thank you for filling in with coaching and substitute teaching.
Even in weird situations, you are with us through it all.
I'd like to thank my parents who go in depth with the school activities like pasta with a purpose or field day. It's incredibly helpful and it makes things a lot more fun.
I would also like to thank our parents for helping us with homework and paying for our education.
There's a lot of stuff you guys have to pay for, from clothing to food to housing to entertainment to miscellaneous things and other miscellaneous things. Having kids is a major financial burden, and we thank you for bearing that.
And during this coronavirus crisis, I would like to thank all our parents for putting up with us.
We can be annoying. Trust us, we know. These are some incredibly scary times. Thank you for putting on a brave front and leading us to these uncharted territories.
I would especially like to thank our parents who are in the medical field, because they're going to get us out of this coronavirus crisis.
These years at SBA have been an amazing journey. You guys have been with us every step of the way. And for all of this, we thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Xavier and Will, for those kind words. On behalf of the parents of the SBA class of 2020, I want to congratulate all of you on your amazing accomplishments. Also, thank you, Mr. Sabo, and the teachers for all you've done. You've been fantastic, and we greatly appreciate you. Kevin and I have both greatly enjoyed being members of the SBA family for the past 12 years. We will truly miss it. The SBA class of 2020 is truly exceptional. It's filled with kind, caring, smart, joyful students, and we have been so pleased that Xavier could be part of that. As graduates of SBA, you will have in front of you unlimited opportunities. It is my hope that you will pursue those opportunities with all that you have. If you try your best in all that you do, and you do that with honesty, integrity, and while treating others with respect, you may not always win, it may not always feel like you've succeeded, at least in the short term, but you will be at peace with yourself and you will not have regrets. In the context of sports, such as basketball, and I've watched a lot of SBA basketball through the years, starting with Jude in first grade, all the way through Xavier's 8th grade year. We talk about leaving it all out on the court. I challenge you in high school and the years to come to do just that. Give it all you have no regrets, walk away with pride. To the SBA class of 2020, congratulations and best wishes. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Aubrey.
Hi, I'm Mallory, and we both play many sports for SBA, and we're very thankful for all the coaches that we have had and all the great memories that we have made. So the first sport of the school year is cross country, and many of the cross country coaches are parent volunteers, so we are very thankful that they have given up their time to help push us and make us better runners while keeping cross country fun.
One of my favorite memories from cross country season is when a group of us would take our walking breaks together. We ended up calling ourselves the walking club, and we would just talk And it was a group of people that probably wouldn't have talked usually. So it was really nice to get to know those people, and it ended up being one of my favorite memories. The next coach we want to talk about is Coach Grigsby, who was our volleyball coach for 2 years. He always took time and went out of his way to help make us better players outside of practice. We would go hit with him in the NPR during break and recess if we could, and he would always give us pointers on how we could become better players.
There was also never a dull moment during practice. One of our favorite memories that we will never let him forget is during our 7th grade season when there was a bug on the wall, and Coach Grigsby decided it would be a good idea to try and kick the bug off the wall and kill it. He ended up falling, and it was really funny. Coach Grigsby can also be really serious and helpful at times, and he has helped us become the volleyball players that we are today. The next season is basketball season, and me and Aubrey have been playing basketball together since kindergarten, so we have experienced a lot of different coaches. So we're very thankful to all of them for everything they have taught us and for encouraging us and making us the basketball players that we are today.
In 7th grade, we were really excited to have Miss Nolan as our coach because we'd been able to have her as a teacher, and we liked her that way. But we ended up really liking to have her as a coach too because she would push us really hard. We ended up not having a great season in 7th grade, but she never gave up on us, and she always pushed us hard in practice to keep going. And after a year of working, we ended up having a winning season the next year with her and Miss Pam and Coach Ben by our side. The last sport we want to talk about is soccer. And even though we only played for SBA 1 year, it was one of the most fun seasons that I've ever played for. We had Coach Edwards as our coach, and he was always very motivational and pushed us. Even if a lot of us didn't have the most soccer experience, he taught us as much as he could in that short season, and we're really grateful for that because he had a lot of patience with us.
We also want to recognize all the coaches that we personally did not have because we know that they were great coaches as well and that they helped their players become better athletes. We would not be the players we are today without all the coaches that have helped us. So we would just like to say thank you.
Hello, 8th level. I first want to congratulate you and your families on completing your tenure here at St. Bernard Academy. I know I speak for all the teachers and coaches on how proud we are of you. I know you've been dealt an alternate ending for your time here at SBA, and I ask that you please remember all the good memories that you've had here at this great institution. I'm actually reading off of a computer. I had this big speech written. I'm in response to the coaches. I know that they had asked me to speak on behalf of the coaches, and I can speak for my basketball team. I am so proud of what they've accomplished the last 2 years that I have coached them. I know in 7th level, we didn't have the season we wanted, and we won 2 games that year. And then they found out just exactly what they wanted was they wanted a winning season. They wanted to make it to the tournament, and they knew what it was going to take to get there. It was going to take hard work, practice, and it was going to take good leadership. And you all were excellent leaders. You worked hard every single day, and it showed. We went 9-5 this year, and I just hope you know, and I hope you can lay your head down at night knowing how hard you worked, and then you achieved at least 1 or 2 of your goals. You've also created lifelong friendships, and I hope that you'll stay in touch with all your classmates. I know when you get to this point, some of you go in different directions, but try to maintain that connection with all of your St. Bernard Academy peers and your teachers. Again, I'm so proud of everyone, not just my basketball team. I had the honor of teaching most of you, and then I had the honor of being around a lot of you, even if I didn't teach you. We're super proud of all of you. Continue to strive for excellence, just like you did here at our school. And please come back and visit us. Once you're an SBA Bear, you're always an SBA Bear. So congratulations. I'm really excited for what's next for you, your next chapters. Keep looking forward and keep working hard.
Hello 8th grade, class of 2020, my classmates. This year we do not have the opportunity of having the baccalaureate breakfast in school, but we still have the opportunity to give toasts. It's been a very long year with many memories that were made. Many of us have been at St. Bernard Academy since kindergarten or pre-K, and some of us came recently, but nonetheless, it's been a long journey, but we made it. It's finally the last year everyone has been waiting for. We have run into a lot of situations where we had to miss some of the best parts of SBA, but that doesn't mean we can't leave off on a good note. St. Bernard has taught us so much. I'm speaking for the girls, but many of us have learned to treat each other in a better way and have gotten so much closer over the years. We have all run into so much drama, but so much has come out of it. I think I can speak for everyone that the drama that we have had was not fun, but all we know is that we got through it together. But the 8th grade is a year where we put all our differences past us and join together in a way that we never have before. We have all taken SBA for granted, usually with all the hard work, but sometimes with the people inside of it. None of us would have ever thought that we would miss the school as much as we have recently. It's been hard on most of us, with not being able to go to New York or the baccalaureate breakfast and missing many other opportunities. Even though we can't finish off together, we are still pushing through with a great ending at St. Bernard Academy. I would have never traded this class of 2020 with any other classmates. You guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you for making me into the person I am today.
To the class of 2020, I know our 8th grade year didn't go the way any of us wanted it to. We didn't have a New York trip, and we didn't have an official goodbye to our little buddies, but this class has managed to make the 10 years of my SBA experience the best. I've made so many unforgettable memories and friends here. I know for the most part, people will be at the same high school, but for the few of us that are going to be going to different high schools, I know because of SBA and just the community it has, we are going to cross paths again. And I've seen a lot of classmates come and go at the school, but this class never forgets them, which makes it a really special class that I'm so happy to be a part of. I'm so proud to be a Bear because of this class. And I know I won't forget the little antics we had in classes. Maybe it was Chloe rolling her skirt in music, or the fall fairs, the father-daughter dances, the athletics, going to basketball games, or cheering at basketball games, all of that. The 100th day of school in kindergarten, and just all the little things, like the archaeologist expedition in kindergarten when we dug up dinosaurs. Also, will not forget the talent show this year from the 8th grade girls. That was really fun. And none of it I'm going to forget. And this class is honestly the best class in the world. And I'm really going to miss you guys next year. So,
Okay. Hi everyone. It's Lindsay. As most of you know because you know my face. This year is crazy. Mr. Crouch started us off with speeches, Mr. Powers with our basic review lessons, Miss Fuqua with the new American history that we learned 5 times over, and religion class, and also science class was new. We learned chemistry and physics and water, which is weird because you think that you know so much about water until you are in Miss Mila's class learning about the properties of water, which is insane because it's just water. Anyway, so I just want to say that I'm proud to be in this class. I'm proud to have all 40? Is it 40? I never got that number confirmed. No one confirmed that number for me. I think it's 40. All 40 of us If there's more, I'm sorry for those people I left out. I am proud to say that all 40 of us have been here. Even if you've only been here for a year. Megan, the most beautiful human being ever. I'm proud to say that I have grown up with some of the best people I know. Now, that doesn't mean I'm not excited to leave, because I love you all, but at some point, you gotta get away from it. Moving on. But just because I'm proud of this class doesn't mean I'm not proud of my teachers and how I've grown. I'm so happy to say I went to SBA. Not just because I'm smarter than most other people because I went here, but because the teachers here are amazing. The years upon years of music practice before the Christmas concerts or the masses, hated those at the time. Currently, I love them. I wish I could redo them. Wait. I might think I want to redo them. I probably don't. It's incredible that we made it so far. I think it's insane that everyone's still here. That most of the grade that was with me from first grade is still here. While some of us left, that's fine, but a lot of us are still here. So, I'm very happy about that. This toast is to the 8th level class, but the 8th level class is not just the students involved. It's everyone else that makes it go round. Like Mr. Sabo, like Miss Leslie, Mr. Crouch, Mr. Powers. The religion classes, which you kind of just hope to watch a video in and get over it, but you still learn so much about your religion. The projects that were thought to be insane, but now you would do anything to go back and relive them. Social distancing is terrible. I know all of us would rather be in school than social distancing. But that's okay. It just tells that this school has brought us together. It truly brought us together, because if it didn't, none of us would want to hang out. We wouldn't be friends. We would be acquaintances. Most of us have found really good friendships within the diocesan schools, but all I have to say is SBA has been a very big part of creating some amazing people. Some amazing people that I go to school with, or used to go to school with after this year. So, I'm very proud of everyone. Now I sound like a teacher, and I'm sorry, everyone, I'm sorry. I'm very happy to be a part of this class. That's all I need to say. That was the whole message of this. I hope you all know that you are important. I hope that you all know that this is a crazy year. And that we're all extremely crazy too, because we're going through this quarantine with no social interaction. And even if you're an introvert, I don't want to be stuck with my family anymore. Okay, moving on. But yeah, I'm very happy to be a part of this grade. Thank you for being so welcoming when I first came here, for being my family.